Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the A Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament. We have a Group P match today between Iceman F1 and Zenitschwert. Zenit. Sorry, I apologize in advance for switching that. I'm Joey 007, happy to be joining you here today. I don't know if we'll get another commentator or tracker, so apologies if I'm not completely on point at the moment. As I'll be kind of running double duty, so we all get the best result possible here. So, but no, this will be a good match between these two fine competitors. It was crisscross keys, so we'll be doing not only an item hunt but a key hunt throughout this competition. All right, runners have been given the green light. Should be starting up here in just a minute. Up to our competitors. All right, so here we go. Starting up. So as far as what we're going to see in terms of locations, it'll be the early game will be crucial here as far as how much our runners are going to have to work for this, and what they're going to get out of it. All right, we are off. Both are starting in the house, and both one starting in the house, one comes up with money in the sanctuary. So right off the bat, a nice profit. And the Sank is near Lumberjack. Okay, so not quite in CAC. So they're not going to be getting great. Nice magic container, though. Okay, we found Castle Tower near Lake Hylia. Zenit's going into the Lost Woods, finds Misery Mire in the back entrance. Iceman has found Smithy. So we get a look at our free item here. More money, so $50, 50 rupees. You're not going to turn your nose up at that. Okay. Back of Spectacle Rock for Iceman is getting our first big key. Yeah, GT big and Castle Tower small and pod small for Zenit. About K45. Gonna help himself to some bombs here. Good idea. As he starts the Kakariko run. Iceman going into Eastern and finds Sarsaparilla. And Green Pendant is in Eastern, so Another small key for Zenit. It's a Turtle Rock small. Some bombs in the back of the hut. Thanks for confirming on the audio. It sounds okay here. Thank you. All right, we found Old Man behind all those shrubberies. That seems to make sense from a logical perspective. So our rudder's got... So Zenit's found the lamp, so no dark rooms for him right now. That's always nice. That's always nice. Iceman kind of retracing some of Zenit's steps here. Okay, checking out here the well near Magic Bat, and we found Ganon's, so that's good. We've also found Spike Cave. Iceman gonna get nice run of chests, but I don't think he's getting any bombs here. He's getting the smalls. He's got this. So yeah, no bombs here for Iceman, so he's going to have to retreat and come back for that later. And we have confirmed that Thieves Town and Ice Palace are the Reds today. So... Then Iceman, I think, might want to reconsider that. Yeah, he's going back for the bombs. See if he makes a beeline back to the well location and clear that out. Not for the moment. C-shaped house for Zenit. Comes up with 20 bucks. All right. Small key at the race game. We'll see if that actually ends up being anything. Okay, we found Meyer's shed. Iceman picks up his lamp. Small key for skull and literacy. All right. So, Zenit having finished the gauntlet that is Kakariko is now going to head towards Hyrule Castle. Got a couple of entrances here. We'll start with the see if that ends up being Uncle, and it is. So Vanilla Uncle comes up with a bug catching net. Okay. And some money. I'm just going to plunder the vaults here. So what's in the main entrance of Hyrule Castle? Okay, laser bridge. So this is out of logic, but then it's going to take a run at these chests here. Gets a small key to pod. That's his second. And he gets promptly zapped. So yeah, so again, out of logic, but this can work to your advantage, and you might as well take it. Well, especially if you end up getting the boots. So well worth the candle there. So that opens an immediate check with Bonk Rocks not too far away. Iceman learning what his red crystals are, so that's good news for him. As he finishes, he continues to wind up on Kakariko. Zenit's going to check Bonk Rocks. Probably lead this toward Sank while he's at it. Nope, he's heading left. Let's. Not quite sure what Zenit has. Oh, I see. Yeah, he is gonna. He and Iceman both missed out on this before, as they didn't have any bombs. Now that they do, and well, just $20. Nothing to get excited about. All right. Well. So, and we're getting a ped check 10 minutes in. We got always loving that. Is ped dead today? Yes, it is. Just couch cash. I like couch cash as much as the next person, but no dice here. So on we go. So another bonk rocks check for Zenit. Gonna check it out, and nothing. All right. Okay, so 10 minutes in, we've got some nice things to have. I mean, Ganon Tower Big Key is a real treat, but nothing that is screaming progression at this stage. It looks like, based on what our runners have presented to us, it would appear if there is any progression, it's going to be coming from South Hyrule. Okay, the small key at Lake Hylia Island. I missed that the first time. So and there's the bow for Iceman off a bumper ledge. That's a nice find. Some I need some arrows, but and he's also getting a little peek into the dark world. Finds Ice Rod Cave. Zenit's going to get his GT big. Very nice. So our runners have largely been overlapping each other's steps at this point. Iceman's heading towards Hyrule Castle. Zenit's finishing up heading up towards Eastern. He's gonna find out what Eastern Pet is. Then gets a quick refill on health. Yeah, only I think one piece of heart so far. There's the uncle's bug catching net, because he went after the guards with that instead of a sword. How very silly of him. Some money for Iceman. So when the time comes, they'll have the money to pay off Zora and take care of most of their immediate needs. So Iceman's going to go into Laser Bridge. Some arrows, money, and more money. All right. Oh, Iceman getting zapped there, so down he goes. Take 2 in a minute. So we're going to finish off the last check down here. Comes up with, just pays the $50 for 3 extra bombs. Okay, well, there are some things he's going to be blowing up in South Hyrule on the way toward the dam, as well as and here, and then of course MMC and Ice Rod cave location, all that. So nothing there, just fairies. Iceman taking care of these bonk rocks. Comes up empty. So yeah, I think at this point Iceman is also going to be making the logical assumption that it's south. It's south. Nope, not just yet. C came up empty. Time for the dam. What do we got here? Oh, that's right. I see. Iceman did not do this check. Oh, that's right. He didn't do the back of Sarsaparilla because, again, no bombs. So the sequence, the sequence is kind of out of position. Has thrown him a little out of position as far as ideal count. Zenit's had a little more luck in that regard. Found a sick kid. We'll be back for that when we have a bottle. Nothing there, just empty chest game. So, gonna check. Well, we can go into the desert palace entrance. We'll see if this ends up being a connector or anything valuable. Okay, so Iceman's going to finish this location off. We know it's just $20. Desert, more fairies, nice, but not exactly moving the needle here. Okay, so Zenith's, we're down to just a handful of checks here. As far as, our progression, it has been rather Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a skip here to get to, we haven't done, that's right, we haven't seen this part either. We haven't seen Witch's house. And, okay, well, that's the other side of Spectacle Cave, so back to that. So he's going to, I think, do a swing around. He's going to check this location. We haven't seen this yet, I don't believe. And it is nothing. All right, so Iceman also in a roundabout way coming to the same area and comes up empty. So what now for our runners? This has been slow going in these opening minutes. We've got some good stuff, but nothing that is propelling our runners in a particular direction at the moment. In terms of volume checks, I mean, you got really nothing. So he's gonna take a look at Tower of Hera. Just to see if there's anything in here. Well, $20. That's a no. It's got this check. Small key to pod. That's his third. That's again nice, but that we don't know where pod is. It's going to take the intentional death and move on. Zenith heading back and by the shrubbery. I was going to say hi and bye to the old man. This man checking southwest Hyrule here. Zenit gets his bow. Very nice. And we'll get one check here. I think he's going to save and quit right after this. Unless he really wants to roll the dice and try to get into Lost Woods. There's Ice Rod Cave. Nope. So Zenit. So try and navigate some more. Iceman gave up pretty quick. Didn't really like what he was getting, so he just kind of moved on. It was understandable. I mean, he didn't even have any arrows. Zenit is going to go into the Skull Woods area. Ooh, gets popped, but gets popped on his way in, and we'll take the intentional death so we can do a little exploring here. We haven't seen the Ice Rod area yet. There's $5. So this is going to be kind of tricky for Zenit. Doable, but you really got to be careful here because the Gibdos hit very hard. So you kind of got to outmaneuver them, as well as the Wallmaster. Iceman heading toward Ice Rod Cave location. Zenit's going to take a look into this. The big key chest comes up with $20, and we'll let the Wallmaster do what Wallmasters do best. Gets a lucky draw with the crab there, Iceman does, and finds the front of Hyrule Castle. Nice. That might be where he goes next. And there's the back of Desert, so that's kind of convenient. Needs a big key, but once that happens, can actually finish. A small key to Skull Woods. That's 3 for Zenit. Iceman's heading straight for Dark Cross. That's the 4th pod, small. They're adding up. Dark Cross comes up with a hammer. Very nice pull for Iceman. Zenit gets the big key to ice. That's given our runner's skill levels. That's probably there's a bottle, so there's Sick Kid in play. So Iceman coming up big in the Hyrule Castle check. Zenit is going to on the map to Turtle Rock, a small key to ice, and a baby shield. Okay. Zenit, this is a good call, I think. It's only one check, but you know, Castle Tower, it's not unheard of for it to be holding the goods. But Zenit's got to be careful here. Uh-oh. He's trying to get some distance and finally does. Okay. $20. So Iceman's going to do the rest of Hyrule Castle, clear this out completely. And then after, there's a couple of entrances he can take a... Oh, right. Fairy. Zenit, yeah. He's got to be a little peeved about that, but, okay, nothing, just a map to Tower of Hera, so we determine if this is worth our time or not. Iceman working his way through the bottom of Hyrule Castle. Still looking for... Zenit's having a whale of a time here, but finally gets through. They're still looking... There's a piece of heart. Health has been very lacking in the opening 20 or so minutes of this race. I think that's only the second piece of heart we've seen. And, you know, you'd hope for better than that. Zenit's going to take, I think, a quick death here just to get his health back up to 3 hearts, which good call. Iceman, I think, is also setting up for a death warp. So, okay, so money. But again, we're okay. Well, Zenit's found race game. That's good. I think Iceman's about to do the same. Which small key is it? Oh, Castle Tower. All right. Well, that another check in play. That's not insignificant. But I think Hyrule Castle right is going to be the more immediate check just for connector's sake, you know. But again, we're getting to the point where something's got to give here. Zenit, unfortunately, is doing this, you know, the wrong way around as we know it, because the hammer is in Dark Cross, and oh, to have that. You know, again, Zenit's, both runners have had a little trouble there, like operations, you know, where things can and should be. So let's see, what do we have left? Yeah, no, well, now he's got now he's got a few arrows. That's nice. He's gonna have to play a little bit of a feint here. So we got Castle Tower and we got Sick Kid. Have they found Pod? They have not found Pod. No. We found a couple of dungeons, but you know, nothing that our runners can really do at the moment. They found Hera, they found Meyer, but that's it. And Back of Desert. But again, can't do much with that. Nice, lucky, fortunate. No fortunate, hard for Iceman, allowing him to safely continue the travailing up to the 3rd floor of CT. Money for Zenit. He's going to take the Death Warp here, go back to the center. Fire Rod, alright, well, nice, but again, this doesn't... It's got to be Sick Kid. Unless if I'm missing something, folks, please tell me. I mean, you know... Zenit going into Dark Cross. Iceman going into Tower of Hera. That's right, he didn't do this, Zenit did. But he won't get any... Iceman, okay. Back into Turtle Rock, albeit from a different route. Got a little more utility with that small key, but not a lot. I mean, there's still... This is still kind of unpleasant. The Fire Rod will make this room a little easier to handle. Okay, so just take the warp into... Oh, but Bender gets zapped. Oof. Gonna do that again. Much to his chagrin, I am sure, but at least this will be, at least now he's got the key and the door unlocked, so that's helpful. Sick Kid. What do we got, Sick Kid? Well, we just learned the Sick Kid is a closet anarchist, but that's about all we've got. I think Zenit's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with all this? Because this has not been, you know, progression has not been very kind here. It's like, you know, they're really kind of circling here. Just arrows there, okay. Up we go, up a floor. Then it's going to find the fire rod momentarily, having already been in here. Make sure the chain chomps behave themselves. No guarantee of that. Oh wow, that was a pretty awful bit of RNG there for Iceman. It's like Iceman's like, yeah, screw this. I'm gonna start back from scratch. Which fair enough. I mean, after that, it's like I wouldn't necessarily want to do that again either. Then it's gonna do Misery Mire. Okay. Well, got a hammer and a fire rod, so can make kind of quick work of some enemies here. Again, got to be careful with only 3 hearts and green mail, and that hammer doesn't exactly have great range either. So, you know. Slowly chipping away here at the enemies. He's got 1 small. Zenit is going into Turtle Rock and to try to have better luck than Iceman did. Taking 2 deaths there. All right. Oof. So that is the problem here with that that hammer, is it does not have good reach. So you really have to be like on top of the enemies, and that's not always possible or practical if you're getting into kind of a street fight here. All right, 10 arrows. Let's see if this ends up coming back to haunt Iceman. We hope not, but we also hope that Zenith's RNG is not almost as bad. Famous last words. Okay, well, that's Quake. That's nice. That could matter later, but yeah, it's like that doesn't. And it takes. I think that was intentional. So you can't really do anything else. All right, so cutscene time for Iceman, Fire Rod. Oh! Yeah, except the Wizrobe's RNG basically. Yeah, so another full reset here. So this seed is hammering our runners. You know, Zenit's going to try Mire now. It's like, well, you know, what else I got? Which is fair enough, I suppose, but yikes. We'll see how his hammer play fares. And, you know, Wizrobe's, it's an insta-kill. Looks like Iceman's going to make another run into the Dark World. Zenit did some, didn't get very much, but you know, we'll see what route Iceman decides to take. Iceman resets the RNG. He's not being chased by deadly birds. So see if his RNG with Wizrobes is a little more favorable than what Iceman got subjected to. Okay, well there's oh, nope. It's just as bad. Zenit's going to go for take 2 here. Well, there's Super Bunny Cave. That's nice. Got some... This could be a connector to something, or, well, I'm not even sure what. It's got to be something in the Dark World, honestly. So we pretty much run through almost all of our logical light world checks at this point. I mean, yeah, I guess they could do Zora if they really, really wanted, but again, out of logic, so it's impractical. Well, there's a mirror. That loosens things up a bit. That's a few more checks, I suppose. Instead of clipping through. Skipping a cutscene, there are a few other checks he can do. There's one other check he can do, I suppose. Okay, nothing there. So, Iceman with opening things up a little bit, finds Eastern. We know it's a green pendant, but you know, can get all but the big chest in logic, so why not do this? It's another small for TR. There's Ether. Zenit does not have enough health, and hell, I think even with that fairy, it wouldn't be enough if he still had it. So 36 minutes in, we have seen a stunning lack of real forward progression. This seed is not giving. $20 in the compass chest in Eastern, I think, proves my point. So something is got to be moving this along, and it looks like it's going to be coming from the Dark World and the connectors. That's not what you necessarily want to see or hear, but unfortunately it seems to be the truth, because they have not gotten a thing out of the checks. I mean, apart from Hyrule Castle holding some nice door prizes, this has really been dire. There's a big key to Swamp. That's the wrong big key you want to see. Okay, so one check left here in Eastern for Iceman. I hope you can hear me now. I apologize for that. I don't know why my mic suddenly switched off. Okay, so, but no, I promise I've been paying attention. So, Iceman found the back of Skull Woods. That's nice. Can't finish it, unfortunately. Alright, so... But there is... Back, another check here for Iceman. Comes up with a big key to Thieves Town. Well, that's nice, because it is a red crystal, but not immediate forward progress. Iceman continuing his odyssey here. Has a check here for the Bombos tablet. Can't actually do anything with it, but he can at least give himself the satisfaction of knowing what it is. Well, half magic, that almost would be worth coming back for. But in the short term, our runners continue to labor through this seed, trying to find something, anything. There's been no health, no sword, and no real meaningful progression other than a dark world jaunt that is making them do gymnastics just to get anywhere. So, you can only imagine how frustrating it is for the runners. Keys last week where the winning time was 1 hour and 47 minutes. This is not going to be anywhere close to that at this rate. Zenit trying to do some hover strats, did not get anywhere with that, and you know that's kind of the sign of where we're at. Our runners will resort to this, even though again completely out of logic, but you know, hell, it's better than nothing. And Iceman gonna check this out, and of course, true to form, nothing. So our runner, both runners are even as far as, you know, what, like the only real significant difference here at this stage is maybe a couple of bigs, and Zenit's got the Quake Medallion, but again, this is not, it's neither here nor there. Okay, well, nice, but can't do anything with that. I was going to try and clip his way through, and it looks like he did, and, well, okay. He got money for his trouble. So into the village of outcasts we go. Got some checks here, but well, found the old man. That's nice. Oh no, excuse me, we did not. That wasn't the old man. Okay, well, excuse me, the pyramid. Hooray. A couple of checks here. There's a big key on Pyramid Ledge. The big for Tower of Hera. Okay, well, that makes it completable. That's nice. Because he has a hammer, so can finish. Zenit found Paradox Cave. Iceman finds the dam. That another potential item. Goody. Zenit finds Ice Palace. To be continued on that one. The other doors lead to... Well, the flippers. Okay, Zora is now in play. So there's a few more checks our runners now have immediate access to, and Iceman, I'm sure is relieved at this, but also perhaps a bit wary. Yeah, flips are out of logic, yes. Are they? There's our second castle tower key. Well, for you bug catching net fans, well, that's a thing now. We'll look to pay our visit to our resident hobo. Going back for his Dark World connector. Another piece of heart. Okay, he's finally up to 4 hearts after getting his 4th piece of heart. That's what today's seed has been like, folks. This is at nearly 48 minutes. We finally have a health upgrade. Well, I have to think they're in logic just because, they're not getting anything else out of this. This has been... Okay, there's Chicken House. Another map, Ice Palace this time. Well, we don't need to know that. We already know it's a red crystal. Okay, so Zora and Zora Ledge. After this, it's got to be Tower of Hera. Nothing, hell, even anything. Well, there's a heart container. I think Iceman might actually go for that. Said it's going to... It's out of logic. It was only money, so... Nope, just scam love, but the real love is on the ledge. Okay, so then it got... Yep, $300. So, yeah, it's got to be Tower of Hera is the next location for Iceman, because again, can finish this. So his tracker's showing it's a crystal, so send it. That's a Gina. Not really in a hurry to go to that right now. Okay, so... Research, this took him to high... This led to the pyramid, which led to all of that. Alright, so... Yeah, this is in logic. Okay. So up we go Tower of Hera. There's the Moon Pearl. That finally, well, that solves one problem. It doesn't erase the rest, but Dark World is now, more checks have been opened there. Iceman's not even going to bother with the bomb jump. He's just going to do this the traditional way. He gets 20 bucks. Then it's going to get his flippers and French vanilla indeed. There's a hard container for Zenit. Bring up to 4. We got Troll Dorm. You have to do this with a hammer, which has tempered sword level damage. It'll only take 3 hits, but again, going to have to be kind of careful here because the hammer, again, not as good a reach as the tempered sword, but no problem. Iceman takes care of Troll Dorm. We got our first dungeon done. Another big key to Turtle Rock. And our first crystal at 5214. Zenit gets the good news about the flippers, and he's like, oh, God. This sucks. Okay, so some good news here, but still a long way to go, and Iceman's going to make the jaunt back into Dark World, but now has some options, or at least has more freedom to do some stuff here. But he'll have to be, I think, fairly... You have to be careful, just because, again, don't want to take too much damage. Because I know Ice Palace entrance, Zenit found that. You're gonna have to do a little bit of digging into that, I suppose. But yeah, Ice Rod Cave, right? First thing they're gonna check, and gets money. Of course, it's money. What, you thought this game was gonna start giving you all the good stuff? I've been doing it for 53 minutes. Why on earth would they start now? Eventually, it'll run out of garbage, but oh my lord, the garbage they've received so far. Alright, so nothing in King's Tomb. Nothing there. So back into the Dark World we go. I'm getting a free helping of bombs. Then it finds Chicken House. Gets his map to Ice Palace. Into the Skull Woods for Iceman. Silvers do make this nice. That's right, Iceman didn't do any of this. Zenit did. So this is new territory. But this will also be a lot easier for Iceman with silvers and hammer. Zenit had neither of those. He had to kind of... Oh, Zenit takes the death. I'm pretty sure that was intentional. Skipping the heart container, though. Interesting call on his part. His health has been precarious for our runners. as their misadventures in Misery Mire prove. But well, hunters are very skilled and I'm sure are confident in their abilities, but yeah, it is a situation where you don't necessarily want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Here's a check we haven't seen yet from Iceman, and no, it's just Hammerpeg Cave, which has a compass, which we don't need. And we're gonna look at Thieves Town entrance. Is it actually going to be Thieves Town? No, it's just more junk. God, this seat's really got our runners over a barrel here, doesn't it? Okay, there's the Gina's Cave. Zenit saw it, but I don't think he could do anything with it at the time. But Iceman will give it a go, and yep, just finding out that Agina is also a closeted bomb-throwing anarchist. Chat suggesting end up with 3 swords and 5 checks. And you really would hope so. And the seed can't just keep giving them crap all the time, right? The law, after a certain point, the seed's got to seed something. Well, but if it does, that moment is not right now. Zenit had no trouble with Trolldorm. Gets his big key to Turtle Rock. Gets his first crystal 6 minutes exactly after Ice got his. 58-14, so 1-1 on the crystals, but Iceman with a bit of a lead just based on routing at this point is gotten the key items faster than Zenit has. There's a small key to Mire. Nice, but doesn't really do a lot for us at the moment. Okay, we're going to look at Stumpy. Okay, 45 first. Zenit did this. Takes a free refill. That's a good idea. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have a does he have a bottle? I can't really tell based on his tracker. I thought he checked Sick Kid, but Zenit did. Well, Stumpy has got jokes for us. They're not exactly the ha-ha kind either. Okay, so Iceman, we can do this check. That's good. Zenit couldn't. Just another vendor shop. Bomb house. Iceman's like, no thanks. Okay, so we're getting Hype Cave location. This is new. Nothing doing. Okay, now he's going to check the house. Then it gets a couple of free hearts. All right, this Paradox Cave, Zenit couldn't. Now but this is 7 checks here, so far nothing. Just another piece of heart and $20. Maybe the top level will have something and help proceed this. Nice triple kill there by Iceman. Piece of heart. Big key to Eastern. Eastern is now completable. It's a green pendant, but hell, take what you can get. Because that was all they got. Only got it other than another heart. Iceman is going to continue his journeys in the Dark World. Still several things to do. starting with saving an old man. So he has to know this is going to take him to Western Death Mountain, which we have not seen yet in any capacity. We've seen Eastern Death Mountain, yes, but not Western. And there it is. So we got some fertile ground to take a look at here, and some big love from the old man. Just a mystic. All right. Zenit taking advantage of his wealth to... There's Thieves Town. This is... can do... Oh, there's Sankard to lead things off, so the love is starting to come in. Suppose the seed had to give us something after, all this teasing for over an hour. Just a rupee there. Cannot fully complete this, but can finish. And at this point, that's good enough, I think, for Iceman. Getting jerked around like this, that can be particular. $5. Small key to pod. That's between the two of them. We've seen 5 of them. He's not going back. He's not gonna. Interesting. I thought maybe he really wants to have everything, all his ducks in a row before he finishes it. There's Blue Mail. There's Swamp. There's a free check here. I can't do, unless it actually happens to be the Swamp Small. Nope, just more love. Zenit is following in Iceman's footsteps here. So, mail upgrade. Going to check Ether tablet. Just couch cash. Bombos was half magic, so probably won't factor into anything, but good to keep in the back of your mind, I suppose. Possible connector there. Iceman's going to table that for the moment. Going to check out Dark Death Mountain. Also looking for a fairy. Gets it. So back to full strength. Waterfall Cave. Another heart. So the heart containers are filling up at long last. They're gone from 5 to 9 in about 5 minutes. So again, our runners are pretty skilled, so I'm sure they're not too concerned, but they're also, I think, pretty satisfied. There's the back, the brother's house. That's nice. Another two connectors here in Death Mountain. Dark, light, and dark. And yes, do give our runners a follow, please. You know, they're laboring for our entertainment, so a little support is appreciated for our runners. Well, there's Spiral Cave. You know, who can resist? So far, our runners have not given in to temptation, but they will. Okay. Then it finds Swamp and so yeah, having exhausted all other options, Iceman I think is going to finish this dungeon and at least get a red crystal out of this. Yeah, there's a lot of connectors. We haven't even seen Eastern Death Mountain on the top level anyways. There's a few more checks there for our runners. So, not completely done, but it is going to, I think, weigh on their minds a bit. Like, how thorough do you want to be, and how much do you want to? Again, it's also coming back to really do not want to do this. I have to come back to do this twice. Takes advantage of the his bottle and gets a blue potion for a refill. That could come in handy later. So we've got Iceman working his way up Thieves Town, setting up for the fight with Blind. Zenit's going to take a look at this connector. Iceman, I think, deferred on it. Well, you got to Eastern Dark Death Mountain. That's good. There's a few more checks here. We got King's Tomb for Zenit. 10 arrows. Okay. Nothing big there. We don't have a glove yet. It's been almost over an hour. We have no glove and no sword. No hookshot either. Our runners have been grinding. I think we've already seen this. Oh, it's Eastern. Okay. Yeah, so Zenit can do this. Can hundo this dungeon. It is again, it is a green pendant, but at this point, you know, you're gonna say no. All right, so good enemy placement there. There's a red shield. One step closer to those boots being in logic. That was on Laser Bridge. So thank God. I know it's not a lot of them. I'm sure they're happy they did that because it's being an even bigger slog than it already is. Desert Small. Well, we haven't even found Main Desert yet, so kind of moot at the moment. Alright, so Iceman getting ready to take on Blind. This is a scripted fight, and actually that red shield is actually going to be kind of handy here, just because, you know, be able to deflect some of these shots, and Blue Mail is also going to be pretty helpful. Again, shouldn't have too much trouble, but, you know, having that extra layer of protection is nice, but, and so it was, because hammers, again, can be difficult at times. Comes up with his second crystal at 109.28. And this will be a trivial fight for Zenit, but just gets a rupee and the green pendant. We'll see if Sarsaparilla is at least more giving than what we've seen thus far. Again, no sword. To the Dark World for Iceman. I think he's going to be heading to Eastern Death Mountain. Oh, you did skip Big Key Chest. You're right, PTG Mock, but it wasn't, as I recall, anything of significance. Because Iceman did do it. Floating Island, just a piece of heart, vanilla piece of heart. Nothing here. He's going to take a free heart, though. So I'm going to take a look at Ether. Just couch cash. Okay, back into Hera. I'm going to take a look at this connector. See where it leads. And so it's Zenit, for that matter. And, okay. Alright, well, there's our Paradox Cave connection. Going to... Oh, Zenit, Zenit finds Blind's hut. Big key to desert. Hook shot, here we go. And red mail. So Blind has been hoarding all the good stuff. Oh, Chad corrected me. It was silvers. It was silvers. Oh, well, then both our runners did it. Okay. So, our runners now with a little more freedom of action here. The small key to Skullwoods. Still swordless, but this does help. Hookshot Cave now in play. Desert can be finished. Still missing the front of the place, but over our swordless, this is a seed. Yeah. That's not even counting. They were at 3 hearts for about 37 minutes. So yeah, our runners have been put through it and then some. Iceman is going to do Spiral Cave. He's going to give in to temptation. Because who can resist? So, just 20 bucks. We've seen this entrance before. Can't remember where it leads. Oh. We're basically in the same neighborhood. So 10 arrows, 20 bucks. And the Cane of Samaria. So actually now I don't blame Zenit for putting in on those hover efforts earlier, because it would have paid off. Out of logic, sure, but yeah, Cane of Samaria. And Zenit also going to get the good news. Zenit's gonna head up toward, he's gonna head down toward, oh, he's gonna do Lake Highly, a good idea. There was a small key. To Thieves Town, okay, well. We'll see if that ends up being anything of significance. It very well might be. Gotta get blink and you'll miss it check on the map. I'm not sure. Okay, nothing there. Iceman. Gonna do this connector, which Zenit did already. Zenit's heading towards Pod, and according to the tracker, Zenit is coming up with Pod as a crystal. Okay, and the other side of Ice Rod Cave. No need for that. Iceman. See if Kiki is actually holding anything interesting today. For 110 rupees. Well, yeah, that's actually a thing. Okay. Mini Moldorm Cave. 5 more items. Big key to Dark Palace. So, If you ever find that place. 10 arrows. And a small key to GT. That's our first GT small. Heart container for Iceman. It's got a few other things you can do. He can actually, and Sarsaparilla just had 20 bucks, figures. That's right. Iceman tried to get around the chomps, was not successful at the time he had threats. There's Quake. He's like, I'm out of here. So, then it's doing some stuff that Iceman's already done. The King's Tomb location. And Graveyard Ledge. Iceman's heading towards the southeast Dark World. We have not seen this yet, so... And this also puts him in proximity of the Desert Palace's back entrance. So a good bit of routing on Iceman's part. Two birds with one stone. But first, check the fertile ground. Oh, we find Hype Cave. To Eastern, arrows, love. The flute. Well, it's going to make navigation, overall navigation, a little faster, but still missing both gloves, so we can't do the mire checks yet. All right, well, there's desert at long last, so that's a nice bit of synchronicity, because you got front and back, and a couple of entrances to take a look at too. Okay, $5, nothing to get excited about. Zenit following along here. There's a small key on the, and we come up with another pod. I think that's all the pod smalls between them. Yeah, based on Zenit's tracker, yeah, that would be pod number 6. And again, where the hell is pod? All right, well, that puts the boots back in logic, so that's good to know. All right, so gonna get another dungeon finish here with Desert. Zenit gonna follow along here, which is only natural. So it's 2-1 on the crystals. Iceman in favor. He did thieves. Zenit has not. However, Zenit can finish this, and Chad is also correct. He will get the full clear. Zenit will get the full clear because he has the small for Desert. Iceman does not. So that's 2 extra checks for him after he finishes this. All right, here we go. Should be a 0 cycle, and it is. Very nicely done by Iceman. And, oh, at long last. Took 80 minutes, but we finally have a sword. Zenit didn't get the 0 cycle, but still clears the decks. And will get his second crystal at 121.31, so very good. So 3-2 on the crystals. Iceman with the lead, but a couple of these extra keys Zenit is holding could prove to be quite valuable here. So he has a Desert Small and he has the Thieves Small, so he can hundo both of these dungeons. Whereas Iceman is missing some stuff. And we welcome our Raiders from Scottish Brave 44, party of 14. Welcome to what has been a grueling seed for our runner cross keys race for our runners. They just got their first sword a minute ago. Yes, really. Well, there's the back of Skull Woods. You know. And Iceman, this is something in the water for cross keys today. Well, guess we'll find out. Yeah, first heart didn't come. First heart upgrade did not come until 37 minutes in. It's been that kind of seed. There's Iceman's bottle. Alright, so this is what he could not get. The Misery Mire's small. That doesn't really change anything. What about the big key chest? Yep, that changes stuff. We have a glove. We have a glove after 83 minutes. So, Zenit is now with the long-term advantage here. He's got the glove. He can finish. He's got more overworld checks he can do now, and is inching closer to some real big finds. And he's still got that Thieves Small, which, again, Iceman does not. More to the point, this now makes Dark World access a lot easier for Zenit. Okay, we found the Beckett Desert, and there's another small key. This is to GT. That's our second of this seed. We have the big key, and get out your salutes for the bird. He is flying away. All right, so Zenit in good shape here with that glove and the hammer. Yeah, this is gonna make no more long-winded runs to get to Dark World. We got some movement here. And Zenit beelining straight for the back of Skull Woods. Don't know if it's a crystal or not. Tracker's coming up as a question mark. About a 50-50 chance it is. Thieves Town Big. That's probably his next. That's probably Zenit's next destination right after this, because he knows where Thieves is. Iceman with a shovel comes up with just a bloomerang. He's not interested. Ooh. Then it got a little jumpy there. Almost ran out of magic at the wrong time. But this is Fighter Sword Mothula, always a hoot and a half. Ooh. We've got the hammer and hammer, so that helps. But again, hammer's reach is not great, so this could be problematic. I do believe that it has a blue potion if needed, but won't need it. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what's going on with my mic. Might be time to get a new one. I don't know. But yeah, apologies. I hope you can hear me now. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure if this is Discord or if it's my microphone. Both. But it's weird. But, yeah, looks like Zenit can indeed pull clear ice, and that's good because that's a red crystal. Another heart for Zenit. Iceman is I believe this was Desert Small, if I recall correctly. It was one of the crucial. Oh, it's Steve Small. Who? But that's not quite as significant as the Desert Small. He is still missing. And I believe there's a Swamp Small, so that's now in play for completion. Okay, let's set up a bomb jump here. Gets it. Nicely done. Another piece of heart. Not really what he was looking for, but alright. Oop. Is that a little off on his timing there. Take two goes much better. Gets a compass for Meyer. Not needed. Iceman is going to go into Mini Moldorm Cave, and I believe that was where the Desert Small was, so good for Iceman, but Zenit suddenly with a bit of a more comfortable route here, because he can do the... He's still got that glove, and who knows how long it takes Iceman to go back to Desert Front. Honey... Oh, it's GT, excuse me. Where was the Desert Small? Help me out here, chat. Uh-oh, okay, he's got that blue potion. Very nicely done. That blue potion coming in handy. Another compass. The skull, and a third crystal at 130.50. So they're tied at, it's 3-3 on the crystals. But Zenit looking pretty good right now for the long-term advantage with the glove from the desert. That could be crucial. It is crucial at the moment because Iceman, I don't know, can't remember where that Desert Small was, but that is proving to be critical at the moment. And Zenit will also be able to full clear Thieves Town for crystal number 4, which will give... No, the red crystal, there's also a check that he has that Iceman doesn't. And that could matter. far as we're still missing Meyer big. There's still a couple deserts. Dungeon location. We don't know where Pod is yet. I think that's it as far as dungeon and GT. We don't know where GT is. So activating the flute. That's right, and Iceman can't do full clear this. Correct. We have no Meyer access at the moment. We don't have Titan's Mitt. And none of the entrances or exits have led us in that direction. Either runner in that direction at the moment. Okay, so I see what Zenit's doing. He's going to just take advantage of the situation and get easy access to the other side of Death Mountain. There'll be a nice double here. This check is... There's GT. EP Big Chest was DP Small. Thank you. Thank you, Lana Bean. Appreciate it. There's our Master Sword. Huh. So... that already is worth the price of admission. Little piece of heart, another piece of heart. Bombs, and more money. Okay. Do we know the third pendant dungeon? Based on the trackers, it's got to be Turtle Rock. Yeah. Another bottle. So Iceman is going to take a look into Swamp. We know it's a crystal, or he certainly knows. So it's clearable. $50. More explosives. The Argus fight's going to be a pain. He draws a sword here somewhere. Rando room, $20. Compass to Hera, useless. 10 arrows, $20. All right, so Zenith's seen enough for the moment. Sword and Swamp, never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know. Me and my crazy ideas. I don't know what on earth I was thinking. Small key to GT. That's, I think, our fourth small to GT. Zenith's going back into GT. Going to take a look at right side now. Oh, there's a red sword. No, all the swords are apparently in GT today. That's 2 out of the 3. So it's like, no, I'm not. You're talking about your cliches, right? 2 swords in GT. And it is okay. He's gonna do thieves now, and that will give him his 4th crystal and the other red on top of that. Yeah, this is looking pretty good overall for Zenith. Like, item-wise, as far as clearing dungeons, I think he's all set. It's a matter of locations and keys at this point. Left side swamp with the second glove. Well, there's Titan's Mitt. It's either very good or very bad for Iceman. Probably both. Because it doesn't solve the immediate problem of Desert Small, which continues to be the big problem. And when Zenit gets Titan's Mitt, that again opens up several checks, notably Meyer, which we still don't have any direct access to, and it's a good bet that Pod is in one of the locations, just based on simple math at this point, because we've run through everything else. Or just about everything else. As far as checks, there's another bottle. Small key to Turtle Rock. Okay. There's the mirror shield for Zenit. Alright, so this, again, Iceman could not do because he didn't have the small at the time. Survey says bombs. Alright, so Iceman lucks out there, but Iceman is not going to be so fortunate because he's going to have a long Argus fight with the fighter's sword. So, yeah, this Zenit also benefiting from not having to use hammer like Iceman did for this blind fight, and there's a little trouble there with the script, but finishes the job. Nicely done. So that's 139.20 for Zenit, up in the lead for the first time on the crystal count, and again holding the long-term advantage. That glove from Desert has proven to be decisive so far. Fourth crystal for Iceman, 139.43. But yeah, Zenit's about to potentially blow this race wide open. In terms of keys, the only key we need at this point is Meyer Big. That's the only thing stopping Zenit from go mode. And not knowing where Pod's location is. Correct me, and Chad, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's all Zenit needs at this point to finish this. Chad asking if there's little reason for Zenit to skip. At this point, you know, you're down to, in his mind, you're down to one item, which is the big key for Meyer. So yeah, you have to be thorough here because you do not want to be doing this twice. Yeah, and the way Zenit's approaching this just would lead you to believe that this is exactly what he's going to do. Iceman going back into Ice Palace, going to finish this off for crystal number 5. It has its tangible benefits. It does give us the red bomb, which, you know, hell, for all we know, that does lead into Pod. There's the Titansmiths for Zenit. That is, I'm sure, most welcome news for him. Well, he does now. So. Yeah, in terms of the situation at hand, if Pod is Myth's Lock, Iceman is in real trouble here. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so. Gear, yeah. Yeah, good idea on Iceman's part. Get the restock on the magic, because Fire Rod's a much easier duel. But still has to do this Fighter Sword Hammer with the last of the 3 Cold Stares. Cold Stare, even with Red Mail, still hits like a truck. But Zenit takes care of business. Gets crystal number 5, and so does Iceman. Alright, so Zenit is done. It's 5-5 on crystals. But Zenit with the advantage overall. It's going to do Spiral Cave because nobody can resist Spiral Cave. But yeah, so far this Titan's Mitt remains the advantage for Iceman. We'll see what this bears out, and yeah, and exactly as you'd expect, going straight for for Meyer area. Iceman returning to the scene of the crime, unfortunately still does not have that Desert Small. Quake opens up Meyer. Just the Dark Chapel for Meyer entrance. 3 more checks to go. Ferry. See what checker. See if, first Meyer East. Just a wizard. All right, Checkerboard Cave. Alright, well, still could be something. Let's see. So Iceman's found GT. Magic Cape. Alright, well that does open one. Well, or never mind. I mean, Hyrule Castle is the barrier is still there. I mean, Iceman gets his Master Sword, about to get his Tempered Sword about 15 seconds later. About 5 seconds. There it is. Alright, so Ice Palace entrance. We've not seen this yet. What we got? Bumper connector? Possibly. Yeah. Could be. That's also on the table. A couple of interesting choices here. Also got Hammer Peg's locations, which have been locked out. Also, Smithy is now in play as well. Well, yeah. So Zenith stopped at GT after Rando Room. Did not do right side. So this is a chance for Iceman to maybe get some momentum back. Okay, we found the front of TR. So we got some checks here we have not yet seen. That's no mode. Where's Pod? We've seen Ice Palace. That it wasn't that. It's gotta be TR, isn't it? I don't know what else we haven't seen. Maybe okay, well it could be this. It could be it could be behind the barrier. It's not that. Is indeed dead, yes. Yeah, it's gotta be TR. Although, now that I think about it, technically, mitts weren't necessarily required because they could get to the back end. You can get to the front given what the keys they have for Turtle Rock. It's not ideal, but you can do it. But this has definitely simplified the game for Zenith in a way it didn't necessarily for Iceman. Nice use of. Oh yeah, then that would actually, you're correct, and there it is. Go mode at 151.03. So yeah, mitts 100% required, and Zenith is going to speed through this. And we already know where Meyer is. We know where Ganon is. So yeah, this is going to be basically a 1, 2, 3, and that's going to do it. Iceman turns in the the mushroom. That's not going to help him, unfortunately. See if Zenit could actually finish the. Probably unlikely, but he's going to be based on the what's left here for him to do. Going to be pretty close to sub 2, which, given how brutal the first 40 minutes of the seed were, is actually pretty remarkable. Iceman is doing a ped check for Bombos. We'll get half magic, which is nice, but that's not what he needs right now. All right, and we go to Helmasaur King. This. Where was Eastern? It was in Death Mountain. East Death Mountain, I should say. Another hard container. Dead sprint to the finish now. They even quit. Vanilla powder, yeah, no kidding. Alright, on to Meyer, which is in Lost Woods. Back entrance, and both runners have some less than fond memories of this from the early part of their run when they were, grasping at straws here, but now this is going to be nice. Oh, we're actually going to get a look at Magic Batcave. I'll see what the bat is holding today, and nothing. Maybe a sword. I think that's about all we can get at this point. Maybe Ice Rod. Nope, piece of heart. Ice Rod is in pod. Not an unreasonable assumption. So Iceman returning to TR, but to clean this up. But yeah, this is not. So get him in the mire big, but that's not going to help with the other problem, which is Titan's Mitt. I think it's half the puzzle. Trying to set up. There it is. Very nice. All right. Pretty easy Vidi fight. The silvers. There it is. And it's final crystal 155.55. Yeah, again, getting a little trolly here. There's the ice rod. Fortunately, Iceman's going to take the wrong answer. Well, not necessarily the wrong answer, but yeah, this doesn't help. This will be a pretty straightforward final fight. No torch glitch. Oof. Nice defensive stance there, and gets the triple to finish off the big pig. So get out your GGs for Zenitschwert, clocking in with an official race time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 2 seconds. GG's to Zenit for a terrific finish. Our runner's having a little bit of a post-mortem on the race, and Iceman learning the sad news about where the mitts were, where his second glove was, and yeah. But we'll see if get our runners in for a quick interview. While we wait, other matches currently happening, just underway on SG2. We have Zelga Dissen and Gritisham doing a logical enemizer. Also starting about this same time here on SpeedGaming Prime, we have a cross keys race between Mike and Lanabean, which should be starting now. In an hour, we have a cross keys match between Dr. Earworm and Tyler Salt on SpeedGaming 3. And then at 4 p.m. on SpeedGaming 2, we have a Kaz Boots race between Facebones and Hayfield Bay. So a lot of Zelda going on. See if they're interested in an interview, and our winner has politely declined, but Iceman will be joining us in a moment. Get his thoughts on the seed as a whole. See if I can finagle this. Okay, I think I got it. Oh. And we are joined by Iceman to the chat. GG, and boy oh boy, the first 40 minutes of that seed.
Yeah, I did not feel very good.
I mean, that was how long it took for either of you to get a heart and to get an extra heart, much less anything else. This seed was
Yep.
not very giving.
No, I did not feel good about that early game, and like I was starting, I before by the time I died to Myra and TR, I'm like, I need to not go back in there until I get more. Let's just hope it's bunny walking, and then finding that pearl logic where you have to bunny walk to get Hera big just to climb Hera for the pearl. I'm like, Jesus, this is off to a great start.
Yeah, it was definitely that kind of seed for a long time, and the seed was giving no quarter, and you really, both of you were really having to grind for it, and yeah, ultimately, yeah, that desert small turned out to be the difference because Zenit was able to get the glove, which led to it just kept stacking up, and it was still close on the crystal count, but yeah, the glove ultimately, especially when Titan's Mid turned out to be 100% required, that ultimately was what did it.
Yeah, and obviously, like I was way too late at the. But by the time I got the first glove, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, I could just be Meyer Big from Go, maybe miss. So I'll try to aim for that Meyer Big and hope I have a chance. And then I had one entrance left once I got that Meyer Big. It turns out it wasn't. So then I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm way too far behind at this point.
Yeah, and that was where things definitely swung, and then you know, actually, Zenit also benefited from going into GT pretty early on and going from fighter sword to tempered sword. So some of those fights, like Argus in particular, were just much faster. So you were kind of taking the grit and grind route in this seed today.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like if that's locked behind glove and you get the Eastern glove early or what was locked behind Eastern, then yeah, that makes it a bit easier. But if the glove is locked behind Swamp,
Yeah.
you can't really get those swords earlier.
Right.
It's one of
Yeah.
those things where with the decisions I made and how I routed it, I felt relatively good with what I was doing, but clearly there was
Yeah.
a better route to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was that kind of, like I said, was that kind of scene where yeah, you guys were just really kind of getting put through the ringer, and like once it finally kind of unraveled itself, it was fine. But boy, it was a grind getting there.
Yep, and these kinds of seas happen, so it is what it is. I knew I was gonna be having a difficult time versus Zenit, but
Hmm.
again, it's one of those things where I make a decision on my route, and
Yeah,
I just have to live with it, see what happens.
yeah. I mean, for a while, I'd say you were in control, or at least comfortably enough ahead to where you I think had the overall advantage. But yeah, but in terms of routing, I mean, you guys were, I think, fairly in sync for most of it. I think you guys weren't too far away from what the other was doing. It was just the little things here and there that kind of added up. So, but no, overall, an interesting and an interesting seed overall, I would say. So,
Yeah, and that's I kind of like interesting seeds. It's no fun when it's just a
yeah.
linear seed.
So, and then you're back at it tomorrow for game two. All dungeons tile swap. Anything you're kind of going to be specifically thinking about for that match?
Uh, Not really. That's going to be a little bit more easier mentally to have to deal with. It's not
Yeah.
like tile swap can be difficult to remember what's where, but it's not as bad as cross keys. The fact that we won't have keys to worry about either kind of makes it a bit
Right.
faster.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
It's
have
a
fun races.
it's a different kind of mental gymnastics, I suppose. But no, yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by, and again, GG's, and good luck tomorrow in game 2.
Yep. Thanks for the restream.
All right, my pleasure. And again, if you haven't already, do give our runners a follow. Some fine play here, and you give myself Pro A007 a follow. My audio issues aside, I hope you enjoyed my solo effort today, and hope to see you all again for a future race on Speed Gaming. So thanks all for watching. Appreciate it.